In this episode, we leave Clayton, New York, cross the St. Lawrence River, and check into Canada at the town of Gananoque. We then continue on to Kingston, where we'll spend a few days exploring the area.
Hi there, I'm Tom.
I'm Jen.
And we're the crew of Soulmate, a 2005 main ship 400, and we're doing America's Great Loop.
We travel 10 nautical miles as we cross from Clayton, New York, into Canada at the town of Gananoque, where we check into Canada.
Saying goodbye to Clayton, New York. It's been a good break here. Perfect town to take a little respite and have packages delivered. Truly enjoyed our time here in Clayton. And now we're headed to Canada, about 6 miles away. So, checking into Gananoque today.
Crossing the shipping channel just outside of Clayton, and we'll get to the other side and we'll do a slow, easy 9-mile cruise over to Gananoque, where we'll check in, and then tomorrow we'll head to Kingston. Straight in front of us is Grindstone Island. There's a little channel between Grindstone and the island next to it, which I believe is called Bluff Island. We are going to go between that, and when we get to the other side, we will be in Canadian waters. So Grindstone, I believe, is an American island, and so we're 2 miles or so from being in Canada. We're going right in the gap between Grindstone Island and Bluff Island, and the next one is Picton Island. So I think to the right is Picton Island. That land ahead, I believe, is all in Canadian waters, or Canadian land, whatever you want to call it. About 1 mile ahead, we're in Canada, and the Thousand Islands did not disappoint. Hopefully the camera picks it up, but straight ahead you can see a red and green markers between an island, a little island, and a big island. We are going right in between there, so I guess when they say 1,000 islands, they really mean you got to navigate between the 1,000 islands.
This rock right under there. This is a very narrow channel. It's a narrow channel, and we're going to have a tour boat coming right past us. And that's why there's a marker there, because there's rocks underneath there.
Gananoque straight ahead, about 2.5 miles. A little short ride for us today, less than 10 miles. just so we can check in this afternoon, and then we'll be back on our way again tomorrow down to Kingston to spend a few days. Parked over there, Memorial Park. That way is downtown, or so they say.
Where we at?
We're in Gananoque, Canada, and there's Canadian geese down there, and we're in Canada.
Let's see. Let's see. Can we get the Canadian geese? Come behind me. See the geese
We're
back
in
there?
Canada. We made it all the way to Canada.
Geese
Mind blow.
and a waterfall.
And a waterfall.
Today we travel 16.2 nautical miles from Gananoque to Kingston, Ontario. Leaving Gananoque, headed to Kingston. Just left the marina. Kind of early, but it's a first come first serve at this marina, so we want to make sure we get there in time to get a slip for the next couple of days. Up ahead is a ferry that has pulled the cable across the water. So we got to make sure it gets all the way across before we go through, so we don't get snagged up on the cable that's going to ride right at the surface while it's moving. And then we'll go to the other side, unload, pick up some more vehicles, and take them back to the mainland. From the island to the mainland, mainland to the island.
That's a cable ferry. There's a cable up front, oh, actually in the back too, right there. And it pulls itself across this little channel, this little inlet in the river, so people can get back and forth, and there is a car on it. And that's where the ferry goes to on the other side. Ferries moving across by cable. This one's got about 8 cars on it. You went from there. It's going back there. All the way back over. To right there. And then pick them up.
Coming into Kingston, Ontario. 3.5 miles, pretty much straight ahead. Start to see the tall buildings. There's an island right there in front of us. We'll go around that island to the left or to the port, and then swing back to the right, and that should bring us into the inlet or the harbor. straight ahead. And I believe that is the marina we're going to straight ahead too. Inside the tower, walking up to the gun platform. The next day, we get on a bus that takes us to Fort Henry, where we'll spend the day touring. The marina.
And straight ahead is Parade Square. And there's two cannons here in the ground. These cannons in the ground are left over from the War of 1812 with the Americans.
I see our boat.
And again, there's Wolf's Island. It has 86 windmills. And then the senior mess hall here on the right. Mostly weddings take place there. And the water is only about 30 feet deep, so you can go with goggles. You can get a kayak here or a canoe, or just dive right off the shore here. And with goggles on, you'll see the warship sunk. They were just all in wood, mainly built in wood. They didn't start building steel ships until the 1860s. So the limestone walls are great for when bands play here, because the limestone walls keep all the music in. And also weddings take place here, and also sunset ceremonies take place.
Walking on the path at Fort Henry, overlooking Kingston and the bay. And then we'll walk around and eventually get to the fort here.
fort.
Why are you whispering?
I'm not, you are.
Oh, okay.
I don't whisper. It's against my nature.
Okay.
It's beautiful here.
Fort Henry. You can read that yourself. We are going through what they call the dry ditch. And it's a ditch, it's dry. Yeah, it's what goes around the fort, I guess.
I like those. That's it. I can't even stretch my arms out fully.
It's a lot of sailing room though.
Oh my goodness. No thanks. I bet it was cold.
It's scary.
Cold. Is it getting pretty dark in there?
Can I come
Hello. No, you might not.
Come on, please. Alright, inside of Fort Henry. Reverse chambers. Oh, I could see why. You see the slots, they're angled when you use your rifles out there. Inside the fort. It's very scary. It's dark. And back into the light. Our last planned day in Kingston, we take our bikes down to the Kingston Penitentiary.
Looking to the west. And back to the east. Okay, it's 65 degrees out, but people still going to the beach. Look at that.
I got jeans.
Heck.
and a long sleeve shirt.
Playing football, going to the beach on the edge of the St. Lawrence. Alright, biking along the waterfront here. A little bumpity. It is a beautiful day. The sun has come out, the wind's calm, and people are out getting ready for Canada Day.
Good riddance is what I still do.
We were scheduled to leave today, but it looks like Mother Nature has other plans for us. In the next episode, we leave Kingston and head to Trenton, where we'll celebrate Canada Day and also prep for the Trent Severn Waterway and the 45 locks that we'll pass through.